energy by timing your smart lights to turn on or off when you want. Just ask me to turn off the lights in 15 minutes.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Uh, where am I? Where am I? What am I working on? Well, um, still working on my my player pool. And now, as I get closer, I've wiped out. I don't know if you a couple days ago I had like 10 or so, and now I'm down to like 5 that are not fully populating as I want them to when I build the player pool. And I'm some of that is as I've done this more and more and more and more, and I go through more and more of the skills and stats. It's not even so much now about grabbing the right numbers as just building my functions so that they're more, uh, I don't know, more robust and efficient. Yes. Like for example, look, I'm looking at ball security here, and this is look at my numbers. My range is 0.0006 to 0.008. Now, if I were to bring these to whole numbers, I would have what is it? 83,000. My gap is 83,148.5 to point or to 600 or 148 to 60. That gap is insane. So even if I took it and squished it, the 60 would be squished down to like a 1. The max value, the 99 would be 83,480 whatever. But the gap is so big that everybody who's you know near basically a 0, which is going to be a fair number of players because they don't have some of these stats because they don't have touches. So you got to get, if you don't have any touches on the ball, you get very low value on ball security. Now, granted, yes, ball security, but and some guys just aren't going to be good at it. You notice that when a lineman picks up a fumble, they often fumble it back. It's not that uncommon. If they pick it up and try to run, if they get hit or whatever, because they're really not used to carrying the ball. Same thing with the defensive lineman. These guys are big brutes. Their goal is to go in, knock people down, and they jump on the ball, so recovery maybe. But if they pick it up and actually try to run with it, their ball security skills are suspect. So yeah, they're gonna have a lower number, but it's not stupid low. It's not like you've got the haves, the people who have experience with the ball, who are hovering up into that 80 and 90 range, or maybe even the 70 to 90 range, and everybody else is like 1 to 5. That's how far apart these are. It's like those who have it are going to be crazy high, and those that don't have it are going to be like the bottom of the drink. So I got to change these numbers. For one, even I got to bring these numbers up to where they're not decimals, or at least not that big of a decimal. And what this comes down to is how many times certain players have touched the ball and their ratio of touches to fumbles. Really, it's just fumbles. I think everything on here is about fumbles. Your ball security is whether or not you can hold the ball, not fumble it. Because really, what other scenarios would you? I mean, interceptions are not ball security. So there's really no other form of ball security. You either could hold on to the ball and not fumble it, or there's not like another term for fumbles. Turnovers of other sorts are not ball security. So so basically I'm taking the fumbles in relation to how many times they've touched the ball, and I'm not sure why I have adjusted average fumbles. I don't even know if I need that. Why do I need to do that again? Why am I using adjusted average fumbles? What is that? Because I've already have my fumbles, and I think it's because average fumbles. Huh. I'm trying to think, do I need... The average fumbles is fumbles per touch. So really that's what it comes down to. So we have fumbles per touch, but you need to have the adjusted fumbles. It's adjusted fumbles per touch is this one. But it's just a control modifier. Touch mod. But honestly, I don't know why I even need this one. Because I'm already doing this, average fumbles. I don't need to divide it again. I don't need to do that twice for. Whoops. I'm already adjusting for a reduction in fumbles. And ball security. So I'm obviously doing more than one thing here too. Higher skill equals better ball protection, lower turnover rate. But everything's about fumbles, so what am I doing with all this other crap? What are all these other numbers? Touches in a season. League average fumble percent. Okay, so what I'm doing with this one, I believe, is I'm trying to rank everybody based on the league average fumble percent. I'm trying to decide, though, if some of this stuff just feels like a lot of noise. I think I've way overcomplicated this. Adjusted total touches times... No, I'm gonna get rid of all this. I do. No, I think I'm just gonna use this. I'm just gonna use adjusted fumbles. I really don't see. I'm really trying to figure out what I could do with these other numbers that would make any difference. I mean, I did a lot of math, but basically it's your fumbles on touches, and you get based on your touches. I mean, you're averaging this many fumbles every time you touch the ball. It's going to be comparative to everybody else. And if you have at least the required touches, or at least some amount of values, I'm going to just, I might even go as far as just to do this. I'm simplifying this mess, man. Get rid of all those extra divisors, bring it down. I don't even know what that's for. And the way I got this set up now, I don't think league average is even fair. because the league average, if you don't have any touches, which is silly, I've already got a catch for total touches above, so you have none, you're not even getting this, but it is kind of silly, because why would I give them the league average? These guys have never touched the ball. The assumption is they're not going to be very good at it. They're going to be the bottom. If there's people who've touched the ball on purpose who are bad at it, then you get to be as bad as the bad guys. I'm dumping that. Because I already have if 0, so this is already going to be greater than, so that's kind of a silly thing. I don't need that. I must have had, yeah. This is one of the first ones I did, and as I've come to understand better how I wanted my code written, I'm going to have to go through a lot of my control modifiers and just delete them. Now that I've cleaned up stuff, I don't need control modifiers so much. A lot of them were to avoid zeros because I didn't have values, but now I've come up with this function that actually takes care of gives me a better way to actually handle my nons. And it's more efficient than trying to keep it's more efficient than trying to keep some kind of control modifier that I have to keep modifying over time or to adjust, because this is self-adjusting, which is way better. This is offensive skills. Factor visit ball security. Applying processes. Put this back in development. It's actually probably ready for test already, but we'll call it testing. Because ultimately I already made the changes, so I might as well just take credit for it where it is. Okay, so let's see if my numbers come out any more friendly. I still don't want zeros, so we will try to trap anything that comes out as 0. And yeah, I still may have to do something like I just want to see if so far I wasn't getting any zeros, so I think we're good, but I think I still wanted to point out, I'm trying to decide if I want to round. I got to see what some of these numbers are though, because if I round I could end up with a bunch of zeros, which would suck if these numbers don't change. Of course, I had so many other multipliers and divisors and other crap going on. It was just way over complicated, so this will clean it up. Because really, the simple premise of ball security is your ability to not fumble it. And I was trying to relate it to league averages and carries and all that stuff. This is my carries modifier. So anyway, let's go back to my terminal. I definitely have some weirdnesses going on here though. Look. Got this, I got that. Why are my skills calculating twice? That is so weird. drop the player pool. And we will go up here. Turn on both security. I know, I'm actually fixing one that wasn't technically on the broken list. I say with quotes, technically. I didn't believe it to be broken, but then it says, let's review a couple of these just to see what's coming out. And I'm like, oh, this is not right. So here I am making edits. We're getting a lot of stuff. I didn't actually expect all these to show up. Oh yeah, everybody's getting a 0. Whoa. That's totally not good. Why is everybody getting a 0? Okay, wait a minute. What'd I do? I broke it. I broke it, people. I broke it. What did I do that broke my code? It must be up here because it was one of my first. And oh, wait, maybe not. Rush. Hands. Break tackle. Rush. Catch. Ball security. There it is. All right, I get it. I broke it. Whatever. How are we getting less than 0? Oh. Oh, okay. A lot of these guys have never fumbled the ball. That's why. So you have total touches and no fumbles, which is reasonable. I mean, it is possible. A lot of guys, but man, look at that. Matthew Stafford touched the ball 397 times, never fumbled it. Is that right? Is fumbles really? I mean, like, does fumbles ever return a value? Is my fumbles working? I don't know. It feels like an awful lot of guys who've touched the ball to not fumble. Nobody? I think my fumbles might not be working. I mean, these are all people who have touched the ball quite a few times. All right, let's try something. And fumbles greater than 0 are not equal to. I guess it's the same thing, but just to see. That's the only one. Okay, so that'll. Let's see what this does. This is going to tell me if my fumbles is actually even working. Because I should be getting some people with fumbles. I don't think my fumbles is working. And I think the only reason things were kind of working before is because I was using that league average and throwing numbers in. But it was basically creating a cover for my fumbles. Yeah, see, it's not loading anybody with a fumble. I knew it. I knew you people weren't fumble proof. What the heck, man? There ain't no fumble proofing out there. Quarterbacks that never fumble, that is rare. If you handle the ball 400, 500 times and never fumble, I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying it's extremely rare. Most quarterbacks fumble because they get hit from weird positions. They're their ball's up here. It's not the best place to be holding it. It's just, a way of things. But that is not. All right, so let's go look at my skill tree here and see what we got. It's capital F. I bet you it's lowercase because almost every single scenario where I have a capital letter, it's wrong. And it's the source data is upper, but I think my code is lowercasing everything. Yeah, it is capital F in the stat, but I bet you this is supposed to be lowercase f. And I wish I could do something like trap a scenario where a value is never getting caught. But the problem is I don't have any loops that are going through all the stats at once. Like what I should do is create a function that literally validates all of my my settings here. That goes through and tries to find the stat for all these players. And if any of them come back as 0 for everybody, not my stats, the stats, these ones are my defined get stat functions. Let's try that again. Go in here. It's an interesting thing. I wonder if I want to. I wonder if I should just say if they have no fumbles or touches. Yeah, but they can't do that, huh? Because that just means their ball security is going to be really high. If they can go through all and have, if the adjusted touch modifier is above, I might actually I might want to increase ball security for anybody who touches the ball more than X amount of times. And like if their adjusted fumbles is less than some fraction. Oh, you know what? That's not going to work. I'm reducing their fumbles if they have less carries. That's not right. I don't want to reduce their fumbles. I have to multiply their fumbles. So what I divide by my... I would divide by my modifier. So the smaller the modifier, the more the fumbles. Yeah, I have to divide by the modifier. I got that wrong. Because better players shouldn't. Yeah, that's... And then if it's a 1, you get your full fumbles, which is good because your full fumbles is all you get credit for. If you played enough, you only get 1. So you get whatever fumbles you had, and that's your average. Whatever your average was, that's your average. And then if your average, I'm thinking if your average is, you know, less than some amazing amount, you get a little bit higher boost. Like maybe if you're averaging 1 per 100 carries, is that good? I mean, 1 per 100 is not bad. Maybe 1 per 150. Or maybe every 150 you get a multiplier. Like if you handle it 300 times, you get another multiplier. I think I'll do that. You know, guys, I know it's only been a half an hour. I think I need to stop. I need to go get some food and a drink, and I think I'll have this one solved shortly. I will come back and after I've consumed. I worked out this morning and I haven't consumed any calories since then, and it's starting to make me feel woozy. Time to go take care of the situation. Talk to you shortly. God bless.